Hey guys, so I wanted to do something a little bit different, taking into account what I feel like is a very significant cultural moment that is playing out right now, honestly, like on a very collective level. And it's interesting to me as an astrologer because some of the very energy that I have been trying to find words to describe and that I've been talking about in my, daily, weekly, new moon videos over this past several weeks has manifested and materialized physically in the form of this new viral phenomenon, sensation, Oliver Anthony, this Richmond, north of Richmond song that kind of like hit out of nowhere this past week and really just took the collective by storm, became sort of like the pulse and the heartbeat of the country right now. I wanted to look at it, you guys, from an energetic level. And I wanted to look at, what would be the natal chart of when this song was released and take a look at the energy and the activations that were present for this moment in time. It's actually sort of, for me, taking a step back into the past because I actually already did this day. We're going to be talking about in the context of this Richmond of Richmond song release that, I mean, if you don't know the song, if you haven't heard it already, honestly, like, even if you're not into anything having to do with like culture or anything like that, I would recommend, just giving it a listen because there is something very powerful about this song. This is not just a normal, average, everyday song. And for me, and let me know in the comments, you guys, if you guys have had this similar experience. When I first listened to the song, like, I didn't even know what it was. I heard it, when on, like, it was either the day or like the day after it came out because I noticed the energy that was accumulating around it. And when I listened to it, I was absolutely blown away. Not even necessarily, I mean, the song is amazing. The performance is amazing. The artist is phenomenal. But what, for me at least, was really unique and notable about the song, very significant about it, was that when I listened to it, and still when I listen to it, I honestly feel like I can feel the energy of every other single person in the world that is listening to it at whatever period of time I'm listening to it. It's, to me, and this is not, I do not think that this is a personal sentiment on my part. I think that this is a very collective experience. And I think that a lot of people, whether they're consciously aware of it or not, are having this same experience when they listen to it. And that is really what is, moving people on such a deep and profound level. I think that there is, a frequency or an energy that this song is tuned to, that, when we're playing it, when we're listening to it, it is like an amplifier of this, an individual energy, but it's like we're all feeling it. We're all feeling the same frequency, and it is just bringing up, it doesn't matter. It's like this massive unifying force that is coming through on a vibrational level right now. And Oliver Anthony, like, bless this guy. If you guys have been following my channel, if you watch my astrology, you know that I've been talking about this past couple of weeks. And it just has so happened to line up with the time that this song is coming out, about this divine inspiration that is being indicated to be manifest in our 3D physical reality, but through the vessel of the masculine. I've been talking about how I feel like there is a strong masculine force that is going to be sort of like used as a vessel. And I don't just mean one individual. Honestly, I think the Oliver Anthony situation and the situation with this song, I think that this is not going to be like a singularly occurring phenomenon. I think that actually we're going to see this happen more in different ways and in different like dimensions of our lives and experience. But I think that right now, and I've been saying that there is a force of divine intervention that is being indicated right now, and that is coming through to put things right, to put things back on course, and that is using perhaps unexpected masculine energy or vessels or whatever as again, like the means and the medium for this flow of energy that is working to fix things, to put things right, and to bring this greater sense of unification. So all of that being said, let's go back in time to Wednesday, August 9th, and let's talk about the energy that was present for that day, because that was the day that this song was released. And it's actually hilarious, like going back in my notes, looking at the energy, because I did a video for that day. If you guys go back, I have a video out for August 9th, and obviously I didn't know at that point in time that like that moment was like on the precipice and was about to happen and take place. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to go over my notes from that day. And we're going to talk about the aspects that were present that day in now the context of, our future foresight of what did transpire, the impact that it is having, and, again, like what is likely to come from this going forward, and the impact that this could have in terms of ripple effects moving forward also. So let's talk about August 9th, you guys. Now, this day, we had big activations playing out. This was a significant day. We had an exact Venus retrograde in the sign of Leo in square to Uranus, and we also had an exact Mercury trine Jupiter while the moon was in the sign of Gemini. Now, in my notes for this day, I specifically wrote, super Uranian energy in the context of relationships, news, and the past, but more importantly, big, unexpected, and impactful messaging, news, communications, packing a major punch, and it's likely to be very much about messages being delivered, because we had, first of all, a Gemini moon going on. Gemini is ruled by the planet Mercury, and we had Mercury in an exact trine that day to Jupiter in the sign of Taurus. We had an earth sign trine going on between Mercury the messenger, communication, thoughts, ideas, what the spoken word, right? And Jupiter, expansion, wisdom, truth, the planet that just blows things up, okay? So it is not really a surprise that we had a big, huge message that just blew up on that day. And the fact that we had a Gemini moon going on, that definitely added to that, exacerbated it, enhance the mercurial influence, the messenger influence also. But the other thing is that I find quite interesting in the context of what the song is actually about. If you listen to the song, the moon in Gemini that day, Mercury messenger, which it was a part of this massive message being broadcast or having the potential to be broadcast. The moon was in a square from Gemini to Saturn in the sign of Pisces. Saturn is restrictions and limitations. Saturn is authority and bosses. And this was all a song all about, the restraints and the control that the system has put on things, and being at a breaking point, and being at a point where, we've taken all we can take essentially, and it is time to take some action now that is going to act as a catalyst for some type of change and break us out of the situation that cannot continue to go on. That is sort of the underlying theme, the underlying vibe. It's just this sentiment of coming to the end of an ability to maintain bending the knee to something, or being dominated or being controlled. And this is the energy that, again, people are feeling when we have, I feel like the Uranus energy is a major driver of this song coming to prominence, okay? Although we do have the Mercury Jupiter exact trine going on with the moon in Gemini, this is obviously indicating a very expansive and influential message coming through. And with the square to Saturn retrograde, how do I break free from the control of this oppressive authority or control system, right? Which is also interesting because Saturn rules Capricorn. Pluto right now is at the very end of Capricorn. We are in the last few days of essentially the control The previous long-standing control matrix and paradigm of the past, power structures crumbling and breaking down. And that was really being, that sentiment coming to the end of that, no longer being able to, you know, or having a desire in any way to withstand and maintain like this oppressive relationship with authority, also being indicated by, of course, where we are right now generally, ending this 20-year Capricorn cycle, about to start this 20-year Aquarius cycle, which is, of course, another thing I talk about a lot in my daily videos. So, you know, we know with Jupiter, Mercury in exact trine in Earth signs also, that's another thing I always say. When we have activations playing out in Earth signs, things are practically tangibly happening in the 3D environment on the ground. When we have things in air signs, this is about ideas. When we have things in fire signs, this is the creative impulse. When we have things in water signs, this is the feelings and the sentiments. When we have things happening in earth signs, this is things actually happening. So Mercury, Jupiter trine in earth signs with the moon transiting Gemini and square to Saturn, it's not a surprise that there was a big message that came to fruition on this day with the subject matter that it contained. However, like I said, I personally feel like this Venus in Leo retrograde in square exactly to Uranus and Venus's sign of Taurus was also, you know, the dual side that would, like the flip side of the coin, that was also so significant energetically that it allowed this like huge viral moment to take place. And honestly, like on a greater level and in the greater scheme of things, where we're at energetically right now, generally, we are in some times of like massive transition and epic change that are happening on honestly like a more existential collective level. We're in a transition of ages right now. I talk about it on my channel all the time. We are transitioning into the age of Aquarius, and as a result of that, some major changes in our levels of awareness need to go on to essentially facilitate that process, okay? And a lot of the astrology that we have playing out right now is the transits, the activations, they are acting as catalysts for these frequency-based changes that are helping us to really recalibrate our energy bodies in a lot of ways to be in a better resonance with these new frequencies that are coming in, that are bridging us into the age of Aquarius. And so on a greater level right now, we are in some times of massive, epic transformation and change. The past, like I said, the control matrices and paradigms, power and control systems of the past are falling away right now, and we are moving towards an age of self-knowledge and self-mastery that is much more based on things developing in alignment with organic and true potential, as opposed to the past where there was a much more controlled evolution in terms of the way that things were allowed to develop and come into fruition. This is also an age of like the individual and how the individual can benefit the overall whole. And as a result, we're all being called to sort of awaken to our own true potential so that we can move forward towards activating our destinies, because we all are holding a piece of the greater overall puzzle that the universe wants online at this point in time. And in this moment of time, you know, when this song came into fruition, hit the conscious awareness of the public, I feel like it is like, it's almost like a portal opened, and it's this energy of divine intervention that has been coming through this individual, this random, you know, unknowing, probably at the time, I highly doubt when Oliver Anthony recorded that song, I highly doubt that he had any idea what he was really doing, the job that he was really doing, the role that he was really playing, like what it would really lead to. And honestly, like I said, I think that these type of occurrences are going to be happening more and more. But the other energy that was present when, you know, this moment happened, when this song was put forth, was an exact Venus retrograde in the sign of Leo, Uranus square in the sign of Taurus. Uranus is the great awakener. Uranus is the planet that like triggers our spidey senses as well. It's like Uranus rules things that travel invisibly through the airwaves and connect us us on these greater energetic levels. And with Uranus being activated in this way with Venus, which, you know, this is the heart energy. It was like this, like electrifying force that hit us on this heart-based level and like woke our heart up to the ability to feel and connect with everybody else who was having that same experience simultaneously, creating this energetic field of unity. And that, I do think, is the divine intervention that this moment in time represents. And the Venus, let's think about it. Venus in the sign of Leo. Venus rules the arts, right? This is music, this is art, this is design, this is creation, this is beauty, this is harmony. The sign of Leo, this is the performer. This is about the show. This is being on stage, you know, this is the creative, extremely creative energy as well. And then Venus retrograde. This is also talking about like things from the past or things that are unjust or things that are unharmonized or not in alignment. And here we have, I guarantee you, I bet you guys anything, I would be willing to wager that Oliver Anthony has very, very strong Leo placements in his chart. And I would be willing to wager that they were very, very, very lit up along the lines of this Venus-Uranus square as it played out exactly on this day. I would also wager that he has some pretty significant Mercury influences or Jupiter influences going on as well, as you know, those were the two primary influences. He's probably got strong Uranian energy. I bet you that the Jupiter, Mercury, and the Venus Uranus were lighting up his chart in some type of very significant way. But definitely, I definitely bet he's probably a Leo. He's either a Leo or a Leo ascendant or a Leo moon, maybe all three, I don't know, but there are strong Leo vibes all over that guy. But anyways, Venus and Leo, that is music. Like that is that is the creative impulse, like expressed through music, through art, through shining and performing and being on stage. In the square to Uranus, this is suddenly, this is out of nowhere, this is overnight sensation, this is sudden success. But Uranus is the great rectifier, you guys. Uranus puts things right. Uranus makes the changes for us that we haven't been able to make for ourselves. Uranus is also brings silver linings, but with the Uranus energy operating, hitting that Venus like that in the sign of Leo as well, it's like another energy that is bringing our heart, putting our heart, first of all, back online, creating this resonance field through this music that is being created and produced, but it's hitting us in these unexpected ways. It's coming out of nowhere, and it ultimately will serve this purpose of being this awakening influence that is putting things right, putting things back on track, resolving distortions, fixing things that have gotten like too out of alignment to maintain and to go forward according to the destined trajectory of growth. Okay, so you know, when we put these things together, it really is the recipe at this point in time, and this greater point in time too, which again, we are in this transition of ages. We are in the breakdown of the past and the entrance into the future. We have come to the end of the road in a lot of ways, and especially also there's a major push right now to detach ourselves from like group think and from like ideologies that have kept us bound from uniting with our own personal identity, our own personal mission, our own personal potential, our own personal truth. And you know, this song, again, I personally perceive in the context of the astrology that it is simultaneously rising within. I view it as divine intervention. I view this song as a manifestation of the energy present, and I view the artist Oliver Anthony as a channel of this divine energy, be it knowing or unknowing. He's been used as a catalyst by Uranus, by universe, by the higher good to create this field, this energetic field that is captivating and awakening the hearts and the minds of humanity. So that's what I'm gonna say, you guys. I didn't want to make this video too long, but I felt like it was too magical to bypass and to overlook. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that made sense to you, and I hope you see see and feel as I do the significance of the moment that we are in right now and the cultural significance of what we just witnessed and what we are in currently the process of witnessing play out, and ultimately, you guys, the force of good that this is going to propel and create and help to manifest going forward, despite any forces that might work to counter it. It's not going to be the vibration that this song represents is too strong and is too palpable and is hooked into the energy field of too many people all over the world and collectively right now. So the revolutionary spirit rises, you guys. It is alive and well, and divine intervention is underway. The galactic fixer is at work. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I believe there will be more to come. So if you guys are new to my channel, follow me for my daily videos. I do 3 videos a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We talk about, you know, what's playing out on a day-to-day basis, the general tones of the week. And of course I do, you know, weekend, new moon, and full moon videos as well. And what's unique about my channel, you guys, is I'm always looking at astrology in the context of the fact that we are transitioning ages right now, and paying special attention to how the transits, as they're coming together, impact our reality to move us forward in that direction. So that's what I do, and come back with me, you guys. I will have another video out very soon. So I will see you then, and until next time, bye guys.